गैब से फजल के सामान हुए जाते हैं, मरहले सारे ही आसान हुए जाते हैं।
अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। Alhamdulillah, Majlis Ansarullah Canada has enabled to conduct some very crucial discussions to obtain much of the history of Majlis Ansarullah since its inception. And here in Canada, we are arranging such talks with Sadran, who have been blessed with leading such an organization. And with us today is definitely our existing Sadr Majlis Ansarullah, respected Hamid Warraich Sahib.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah, sir. So, sir, with us is today respected Qaid Sahib Amumi, Asim Mahmood Bhali Sahib as well, who is serving Majlis Ansarullah for a very long time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So, first of all, I really want to thank you for your presence. I know your time is precious. So we'll just jump into directly to some of the questions. We like to have your input on few things which would be crucial and important for compiling the history as well. So if you can, before going into those details, explain your background, where you're coming from, and maybe your family background, and any services you were able to render before becoming Sadr Majlis Ansarullah Canada.
First of all, Jazakallah for having me. By the grace of Allah, I've been blessed, or I've been serving Majlis Ansarullah for the last 5 years now. My name is Abdul Hamid Warraich. I'm originally from Pakistan, and I was born in Sindh. My dad was a Waqf Zindagi there, and that's where I spent my life, my schooling, initial schooling, and that's where my whole family was. My great grandfather was Chaudhry Muhammad Sen Bajwa. He was the first 313 Sahaba of the Muslim. That's how the Ahmadiyyat came to our family. In last Jalsa around 1982 or 83, we moved to Rabwa, and from there onward we stayed almost 10 years in Rabwa, and then we migrated to Canada. 1992. I've done my matriculation in Rabwa, and when I came to Canada, I started going to school and college and graduate from here, and that's how my life started in Canada. And this is a little bit of background of mine. We have 5 brothers and 2 sisters, a big, huge family.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah, everybody's here.
Alhamdulillah.
And all of them are serving in somewhat.
So, if you can also give us some overview of any other services you were unable to perform before coming Sadr Majlis.
Yes, in Canada, when we came to Canada, Canada was a small Jamaat then. Initially, Dr. Aslam Daud Sahib was the Sadr Khudamul Ahmadiyya. Actually, that was first year that Dr. Sahib became Sadr Majlis, and I started working with him starting from SAIC. From there on, I worked as a local Zaim and SAIC and Muntazam and Regional Qaid and Muhtamim and Naib Sadr, and then I served as Sadr Majlis Khudamul Ahmadiyya Canada as well for 1 term, and then I became Nasser. And in Ansarullah, I initially served first 2 years as a Naib Sadr Safedom, and then I've been given this service. I've been blessed by the grace of Allah, I should say, that I'm serving as a Sadr.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
So, Sahib, now starting with the time when you became Sadr Majlis Ansarullah Canada in 2020, when Hazrat Ila bin Aziz appointed you. So, can you tell us what was the tajneed at that time and how many majalis and regions were there?
So we had approximately 5,810 tajneed,
MashaAllah.
and total 15 regions and 102 majalis. But this was a start when a lot of people start moving to Canada, and a lot other we had more majalis.
Right.
Like this.
But that was also the time of COVID,
Yeah.
and definitely things would have been changed much from 2019. So, how the Tanzeem or Majlis were performed during those times when you were not even cannot meet someone and everything was alienated and aloof?
Yeah, the COVID was a big thing. Generally for everybody, for Jamaat, obviously for everything. But I had in my mind that Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya was prepared so long ago, and I have firmly believed that it was prepared by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Rabe when he started MTA. I think one of the thing is that we have to have a communication with Khilafat-e-Ahmadiyya. But nevertheless, when COVID came, we had obviously had a problem. We cannot meet and greet people physically. We can't do anything. So most of our program done online, Zoom, and we start establishing more online content. Meetings were held online. Also, this was my first year too, and it was a challenge in a way because I was by myself a new Sadr and not knowing so many people, but that's the only communication. That's the only way we had. We were able to communicate with general members.
Right. And so, sir, during that time, COVID times, I know Ansar brothers were going through lots of challenges like across the globe. So, how Majlis was taking care of that situation?
In terms of one major challenge was the well-being of members of Majlis Ansarullah. So under the Department of Hisar, we start having the homeopathy packages. They were delivered to Mujalas and make sure the members and Zuma are requested to distribute them and to reach to every single members and help that members, because that was the first concern of everybody, that our members are well taken care of it.
Right.
So that was the big thing. That was the only thing we were concerned. That was the instruction by Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen through Amir Sahib that we got, that we want to make sure that all our members are well taken care of it, and have a personal communication with them, contact with them.
So, how was you creating that personal contact?
So mostly we had a Rabta scheme through Psykeen, system of Psykeen. We make sure that you call them and you talk to them and you report back that how they're doing and if they need any assistance. That was the only way we do. But we also were doing different activities, so we don't want people to get depressed. So a lot more activities we start doing.
But all were virtual.
All were virtual.
So can you name a few activities which were there at the national level?
So, for example, we had Talimul Quran videos that we start uploading. MTA quiz we start preparing. That was actually, we ask our members to different majalas to prepare for this, where they had to go through a syllabus and come up, and we start involving more people in this way. Anything else you want to add, Kaitsa Mumi?
So the MTA quiz was well organized in January.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just a bit earlier than the COVID really kicked in.
Okay.
And that was the time when this MTA quiz work program was recorded. All teams flew even from the Western Canada and all across regions. So there were regional teams, and the program was aired on MTA later on in different episodes and the finals, semi-finals.
Yeah, but specifically, if you ask me, COVID related, I mean, we knew that some Ansar did layoff; they have no job, so there's some financial help. Then some of members and
Definitely,
Majlis we
yes.
did. We also established the emergency preparedness in national markers, where we had stock foods, approximately 11,000 people for 11,000 people for 3 days. We had the provision, if God forbid something happened, we can provide this kind of
Right.
service to the members.
And I remember probably Ansarullah was also quite active in providing the homeopathic medicines for
Yeah,
COVID
as I
across
mentioned
Canada.
earlier,
Yeah.
I mean that was the big concern, because no doctor was available at that time. In terms of it, no doctor would take new patient. They would not talk. You online, you cannot provide explain sometime. But by the grace of Allah, homeopathy in Jamaat is a big thing, and we have a couple of very renowned homeopathy doctor here in Canada who actually chip in, and you want to name some of them maybe.
Dr. Hamid Sahib.
Yeah. So
Dr. Hafiz Sahib of
Dr.
Brampton.
Hafiz Sahib, he was very kind enough,
Okay.
and he made all these packages, and packages were distributed to all
Alhamdulillah.
across. Yeah.
So, Sahib,
Canada.
if we look at the activities of Majlis, one of the key and probably the climax is the annual Ijtima and Shura. So, how did we go for that in 2020?
So I think there was no shura held on that,
Yeah, no shura, no ijtima.
no ijtima
Not permitted
on
by
that
the-
on that year. In fact, no jalsa was held on that year. That was the
Right,
first
right.
year when had no jalsa.
So, was there any rally or any other program which happened? Like,
In replacement of that, we had a virtual talim rally, at least for regions and for regional level and national level. That was first and big initiative we took. But we did other activities as well. We did some runs on that. We also had a Remembrance Day activities. Also, we collect some funds for our veterans. What is it called?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think there were 3 or 4 different virtual runs which were happening, including Hamilton and some other parts of Canada. as well.
Hamilton, Windsor. Is it right? Windsor,
Yeah,
Hamilton.
Windsor, I remember, yeah.
And that was a unique kind of idea, because there was no actually run, but we had to collect funds.
Exactly.
And we won more than $5,000, and then $10,000 somewhat amount we
Right.
collected for local charity and local hospital. So that was
Exactly.
very well taken by the community, and some majalis start making some masks. Some majalis took initiative this, sewing mask with legend. Mask was a big thing. That was prepared by Majlis, some of the majalis, to distribute different hospitals and local shelters. So our whole year was basically a COVID year, and all these activities, whatever is possible, we have done
Right.
online and virtual.
And during that time, how were we able to basically achieve our financial sacrifice targets as well?
I think in Canada it's finance system in Jamaat generally is very well established, and in Ansarullah in Canada specifically, all these particularly finances activities are being taken care online anyway. So because we were very used to giving chanda online,
Right.
but it was majority of them were just trained people, so we didn't have any effect. I don't see any effect on that,
Yeah,
right?
actually, our chanda was surpassed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
Mashallah. And there is a reporting system from Majalis. When you are communicating with them, they are communicating back to you, and that communication is called the report. You talk about different departments, tabligh, taaleem, whatsoever, and then they report back that this task has been completed or partially completed, or where they are with that one. So, what is the mode of communication during that time? Was that your automated reports or any other mode of information as well?
Maybe Momi can shed some
Well,
light
we have the online reporting system, and we also set up the Gmail G Suite accounts for our Zoma, and that was the first year that we started these official dedicated Gmail accounts of all Majalis and Nazmeen, National Amla, Regional Amla members. So our data remains secure, and that was easy that year because people were home in one way. So our reporting tool was, mashallah, was working very well, and it was not very difficult. And the good thing is that alhamdulillah, 95% of our reports were coming online.
MashaAllah.
And just very few Zoma, we have to help them in submitting the report online.
And online means that Magnus system that you have?
No, actually that time we had the Ansar reporting tool.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a reporting system, reporting tool.
Yeah.
Macmus replaced it 2 years later.
So in 2022,
22,
we got the Maxim kicked in.
Macmus, yes.
Perfect. Jazakallah. And during that time, Sir Sahib, in 2020, do you remember any other key initiatives of Majlis Ansarullah Canada?
I think there was some Natiya Mushairas and stuff like that, that kind of activities. I'm not sure exactly how many numbers in terms of it, but there's, I think, a couple of them initiated for different majalis, because we had no other ways to involve Ansar, and that was one of the, I think if you remember anything else on this regard.
The Natiya Mushara was held on the last day of the year,
Yeah,
December 31st.
okay.
Right. And
To
that was
say-
virtual?
It was a virtual Natiya Mushara,
Mashallah.
and it was that way to say goodbye to the year 2020. And alhamdulillah, we had over 1,100 clicks on it.
So, Sir Sahib, let's move to 2021. Things were getting better, though not normal as far as the
Yes.
COVID was concerned. So, if you can share some of the highlights of Majlis Ansarullah for 2021 with us.
It was a continuation of the COVID era, and but we were well versed in terms of it. We got used to it, how to handle things, because a lot of bugs that we had in previous years in terms of it, because communication was still not allowed physically. We weren't able to meet each other. So there are quite a few events that we have done, like webinars. We start doing some webinars, some online programming in terms of mental health and stuff like that. So people were a bit stressed out on these days on the 2022 as well. Virtual interfaith program were held for tabligh purpose. Virtual refresher course was held on the. These are few highlights
Right.
on that year of 2020.
And did we have our National Ijtima Shura in that year?
We did not.
We did not have Ijtima,
We did not have Ijtima.
but we did have the Shura approval from Huzur Anwar on to organize the Shura on a minimum scale in Tahir Hall, so limited level at Tahir Hall, in which only Zoma of Canada, Nazmeen Yala, and the National Majlis Amla were the attendees.
Right.
Yes.
And I remember we had some webinars in that year as well on Wasiyat and other.
Zahanat, mental health, and
Exactly.
osteoporosis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some clips and videos were also made and shared across different social media sites.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and then I think Hazrat Sahib has given us instruction. A journal instruction was sent that we can communicate in live streaming and so on and so forth, because previous years we have to get the permission. So that was one thing that we have started doing all the these program more frequent, I think, in terms of numbers. Our number was much better in terms of communication and having more programs
MashaAllah.
in 2021.
I mean, normally we do have our theme of, every year. So do you know what was the theme of 2020 and 2021?
I'm actually not sure. 2021, I think it was the third shart-e-baid, if I'm not sure, third condition of baid, where it says, "Main मैं बिला नागा पंज वक्ता नमाज मुवाफिक हुक्म खुदा रसूल के सलात व सलात and 2020 I'm not sure.
Right.
I have to check with the Qaid Samumi if you know any.
Unfortunately, I don't recall.
Okay, so sir, but let's move to the welfare. You talked about the welfare of the members of the Majlis Ansarullah. So again, 2022, any key initiatives we took for welfare of Majlis Ansarullah here in Canada or our brothers across the globe? Any key initiatives taken there?
It's 2021 continues.
Yes,
So
I think it's 2021. You probably mentioned that. The one key aspect, I think there was one small time during the 2021 where we had a window of opportunity. COVID was dying down, and we can meet and greet somewhat. So that was first year we decided to have an Eid, giving some sweets to every office bearer of Majlis Ansarullah. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Just by the end of the first half of the year,
Yeah.
it was close to Eid. Eid
Yeah.
gifts were provided to all Zawamab, Jalis, Nazmini Ala, National Amla members, and
Yeah.
some elders of the Jamaat as well.
Because initially governments allowed us to do some physical meeting can be happen. So we start doing meetings, and there's some virtual, there's some physical refresher, media reviews were done. So because it was the half year of COVID and half was sort of physical, so but back and forth. So we did quite a few programs virtually all across Canada.
Right.
Webinars, as I mentioned earlier, virtual Talim rally, we had done refresher course, media reviews.
Yeah, even Tabligh, there was a webinar
Virtual
on Tabligh
interfaith,
as
yeah,
well.
virtual interfaith program. There was some majalis in Western Prairie regions that have done this, mashallah, by the grace of Allah, and quite a few members. And it was amazing in a way, specifically at Tabligh, because I haven't seen any other organization doing virtual Tabligh like we have done it. And by the grace of Allah, whenever we contact non-Ahmadi different groups, they were like astonished. They said, how you guys are getting all these people online? Because, and by the grace of Allah, is very well taken and very well received in terms of numbers. And we had a lot more, 1,000+ numbers were attended
Mashallah.
on different virtual programs.
So definitely there won't be any Ijtama but Talim rally in
Yes.
that year as well. So how was the participation of Ansar in those Talimi rallies at different levels, including national?
Khalid Samumi, what was the number?
Well, the regional rallies were held in all regions, alhamdulillah.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
In one region, it was the rally in person. That was the Toronto region. And that was the only region that year. And after that, the restrictions were imposed again.
Oh, okay.
And it was all others held in virtually. And they were well received. But the national rally got more than 2,000 views.
Mashallah.
On the alhamdulillah.
So how about any activities on the front of health and mental health and fitness as well?
So there was some virtual programs for webinar for health related matters we held, where we asked Ansar to take part, and the information were given, sort of things like that. Also, towards the end of the year, it was much open in terms of it. We started having some physical activities. So the highlight of that year was the volleyball tournament, Masroor volleyball tournament, and that was first year our initiative, and we asked non-Ahmadis as well to come. So there were around 15 or 16 teams.
Participated.
End of the year, we had a Masroor volleyball tournament where we had 6 non-Ahmadi teams. So that was a very good initiative by the Zahanda department, and it was very well received by our members as well, and being
definitely going back after a couple of years, restriction and all that depression which was there during that wave of COVID.
That's right.
Totally understandable. So let's move to next year, which is 2022. I know just being mentioned that was a year when you got the MacMIS system up and running. If you can share some detail on that one, what that system is and how we got that one.
By the grace of Allah, we were using reporter tools. That was initial system, initial online thing that we were using it. And our previous Sadr Sahib, respected Shad Mansoor Sahib, when he had opportunity to go to UK in Ijtama and meet with Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasir Aziz, he had discussion with UK Majlis, and they sort of showed him how they doing their reporting structures. So that was initiated by him in terms of it planning, and we came when my term started. We initially actually, kept that in our focus, that how should we do enhance our activities in a way that everything comes together and we can report thoroughly, and where we don't have to do too much physical paperwork. So when I'm sort of like we want to get rid of and it was more what is it called? I forgot.
Green initiative.
Green initiative. So that was the cause of it. By the grace of Allah, anyway, that was thank to respected Shah Mansoor Sahib that he was initiated this whole thing.
Right.
We, by the grace of Allah, we have a couple of individuals came to Ansarullah, very well versed in the
Technology.
Yes, and they were they knew how to run this business. Namely, our respected now additional Qaid Sahib Amumi, Fakhr Chughtai Sahib, he has done majority of works he has done. So initially we got some information from UK Markaz, but then we decided and wholly solely we will run our own business our own self, and we establish in town type a system. It's called MacMIS. It's Majlis Ansarullah Canada Information Management System. And that revived Majlis in a lot of ways.
Right.
So that was a big initiative, some costly, but we have done this, and we have, mashallah, have gained a lot of benefit out of it.
Right.
Qaid Sahib Mumi, because he's the backbone of the Majlis in terms of it. He has more communication. He can probably shed light on specifically about MacMIS if he wants to add something.
MacMIS basically revolutionized the landscape of Ansar activities, and in a way that now our end user, like a Zaim Majlis, SAIC, Munzim, regional Amla members, or even National Qaid, they can access the information, the activities from handheld device. So if you have a smartphone, you can use it easily. And many of our Zoma, they are submitting their monthly reports or on their phones. So basically, this gives them liberty and kind of freedom that they don't have to sit on a desktop and have to write the report. So
Right.
basically, this way, the information becomes very easy and accessible. The activities are accessible, the need is accessible. So anything you can think in the Ansarullah horizon.
I forgot to mention one important thing. It's the mulaqat with Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen in 2021. It was the COVID era.
MashaAllah.
That was a highlight of that era. So I just want to be in for the record purpose.
Right.
With the National Amla and with Region Nazmini Allah, we had around 263 individuals that took part. Canada was the blessed country in terms of it, mulaqat with Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen. We are the one who started in terms of it. Atfalul Ahmadiyya was the first in Canada, but then when we gave the request, our request got approved very quickly, and we were blessed mulaqat with the Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen.
So that was the virtual mulaqat.
That was
here.
virtual mulaqat, first virtual mulaqat of with Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen. So
Any memories from that definitely blessed meeting? If you may share.
It was. I remember the day. It was Fajr. After Fajr, there was a mulaqat. Obviously, but it was very emotionally charged mulaqat because the COVID year Jalsa didn't happen. People, we missed Hazrat Amir al-Momineen. People didn't have an opportunity to go to UK. So yes, Hazrat Amir al-Momineen Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Nasr gave us the instruction as far as the department is concerned. But if you look at overall, I think it was just to seeing Hazur on TV and seeing Hazur so closely was the thing that we
And talking to us.
yes,
in
and
particularly.
talking to us directly.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of that era that I just
Definitely.
want to
Definitely,
point
all
out
the
that.
blessings lies in Khilafat
Yes,
for us.
yes,
Definitely.
Alhamdulillah.
So, by the grace of Allah, that was a very fortunate incident and hallmark of that year.
Yes.
So sir, moving to 2022, any tabligh initiatives which were taken in that year? Because now things are opening up, people are going out, and in-person meetings were there. So, any highlight for that year for tabligh?
I think on that year, if I'm not mistaken, when during the mulaqat, Hazur asked us on previous year that how many bats and what are you doing for tabligh, and Hazur mentioned, I gave the example of UK, how they are distributing Quran Kareem. Okay, and we should have Ansarullah actually took initiative for this purpose. We requested through a Shah department, we got 500 plus Quran Kareem here in Canada with us, and it got distributed on different majalis, and we gave instruction how to distribute it because that was I think that was the highlight of the tabligh.
So, in 2022, if you can share some of the highlights of our ISAR department working within Canada and out of Canada as well, any blessed guidance from Hazur Anwar Ayyatullah bin Nasr Aziz?
So, in the light of instruction of Hazrat Amir al-Momineen Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz, Majlis Ansarullah Canada has done some work in terms of it helping flood reliefs in Pakistan specifically. We donated some funds to Humanity First on this regard because it was a huge flood.
Right.
That a lot of loss of lives and shelters and so on and so forth. And then Hazrat Amir al-Momineen Ayyadahullah bin Nasr Aziz instructed us and said, do something big. Why Canada can do big? So we have, with the permission of Hazrat Amir al-Momineen, we gave $100,000 for the model village, and we also promised Hazur that Hazur will be doing 50 water wells. If I'm not mistaken, 20 plus water wells have already been done. Setup been done for that. We also had a small initiative in the Central American country Belize, where the water purification plant was established by Majlis Ansarullah Canada, Alhamdulillah. And in recent years, actually in this year 2024, our respected Nazmi Allah Sahib, Nazim Sahib Laka, he went there along with Missionary Charge Sahib and Jalsa Salana Belize, and they inaugurated this whole. So that was very good initiative done by Majlis.
Yeah. So Sab, if we just move towards now the Taaleem initiatives and the Tarbiyat initiatives of our Majlis in 2022, if you can highlight few of the things there, was there any syllabus?
Yes, the Taaleem was a big thing. It's always a big thing in Majlis Ansarullah. Hazrat Amir al-Momineen mentioned, Ansar make sure the Taaleem and Tarbiyat is a focus of the year. That year, we start establishing, actually, it was every year, but we start printing the Taaleem syllabus.
Okay.
And we also, and we got this from Qadian because it was much cheaper in terms of it. So Taaleem syllabus lasts 4 or 5 years, starting from 2021, I think.
So every year we are getting
syllabus
published
by the
and normally what that includes, Taaleem syllabus?
So it includes Ijtima syllabus, includes the books that we allocate for the year, one particular book is always there, is Hamari Talib. That was, and then different years we set a syllabus. For example, last year we had Shahadatul Quran, and this year we had Brahine Ahmadiyya Hissa Panjam. And because and this Talim syllabus is given to every single Nasser, and we do ask members to write quarterly exam. So Department of Talim takes care of that by the grace of Allah. Department of Talim also takes care of different initiative, but in this one we start giving funds. What is it called? Scholarships
Scholarships and grants?
and grants.
Okay.
So gradually, Majlis Ansarullah it becomes we initiated initially to give scholarship, and by the grace of Allah, now we have 12, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, right now we have 12 scholarships, and
12.
then we also do grants total of around $35,000.
$35,000 plus.
Yeah.
So that's, and specifically about Ahmadiyya School
Right.
in Calgary and Mississauga, we do provide this service.
So, Sahib, these Talim exams, definitely in the COVID times, it was hard to collect the hard copies. So, any innovation was done at that time?
As I mentioned, initially it was difficult because hard copies, and now everybody, all of us, although they're a little bit more inclined towards the technology,
Right.
and phones were much faster phones, and tabs and tablets are available. So by the grace of Allah, Majlis Ansarullah information management information system had given us this opportunity as well. So we now have very actually actively involved collecting these exams from the members, and it's a very easy process. And by the grace of Allah, good 55% over Tajneed of ours do write this exam, and we collect online. And initially was not, right now at this moment we gets marked, individually paper gets marked. If you pass, the certificate is being issued to you,
Sure.
and that's excitement is there that you pass the course, and
Right.
Alhamdulillah we have done because of this system that we have. Anything you want to add, Qad Sab Umumi?
That's what it is all about. But so far, since the introduction of this our Talim portal, which was launched in the last quarter of 2022, our online Talim paper submissions have increased to 90% of all submissions. So now just merely 10% forms, Talim papers, are submitted on hard copies, on papers. 90% are online, which is a
Right.
big change basically. Yeah.
So sir, I'll like to take you a little back as well, because during the time of COVID, 2020, 2021, there were not much activities, but as a tradition, we do have Alme Inami and for Majalis and Award of Excellence for regions. How that was taken care of
So
that during
I think
that
the
time?
COVID era, Alme Nami was given on Shura, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Shura 2021,
Shura
two
2021.
alums were awarded.
2 alums were rewarded. We did follow the same criteria because we, by the grace of Allah, were getting reports, and on the basis of that, it was done very easily, alhamdulillah. But after that, it was every year we do reward that in Jalsa Salana Canada. On Tarbiyat aspect, I also want to add that for all COVID era and still we start celebrating Jalsa Khilafat.
All right.
Okay, there was we got the instruction for Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz in regards that all auxiliaries must have their own separate Jalsa Yawm-e Khilafat.
Yeah, I think it was 2022 when we
It was
got
22
this.
to when got this info. So the first Yawm-e Khilafat was held virtually, is that right?
Yeah, so May 8th, 2022.
That was at national level.
national
That
level.
was national level, and that was around 2,500 people.
Right. And
joined.
next year, probably it was transferred to the regional level in
Yes.
2023. Yeah.
Next year, 2023, is a regional level, all region held Jalsa Yawm Khilafat by the grace of Allah. And it was very successful, alhamdulillah.
So Sab, I would also like to ask you if there is any particular highlight or any particular instructions of Khilafat Ahmadiyya for Majlis Ansarullah.
In 2022, two important things in regards to Tabligh. I already mentioned this, but I just want to reiterate. The 500 copies were initiated by the Majlis, distributed
Of Quran Kareem.
of Quran Kareem for Holy Quran with translation. The second thing was instruction came to us about the Majlis Ansarullah scarf. That was that every Nasr, every time when we have the official meeting of Majlis Ansarullah, we must have the scarf. And by the grace of Allah, that was introduced in Majlis in all level in Canada. In fact, we were told to help other Majalis as well, and by the grace of Allah, we have distributed this to all across, I think, one country, if I'm not mistaken.
Burundi and Tanzania.
Yeah, and some African countries.
MashaAllah. And probably that was 2022 was the year when we were having in-person Ijtima after a gap. So if you can share some of the experience of that time and maybe the attendance and any other details of that time, please.
On 2022, we had participation. We have Ijtima. Is that right?
Yes, we have it open actually in the premises of Baitul Islam Mosque, and the Ijtima was along with the Khudam and Lajna, and that was
that was a big highlight. Because last couple of years or last so many years, Majlis Ansarullah was holding their Ijtima in the premises of Tahir Hall, Iwan-e-Tahir.
Right.
That it's a complex of Jamaat Ahmadiyya Canada. But this year, where all three auxiliaries decided to have Ijtima 1 week apart, and we did on the grounds of Baitul Islam,
adjacent to Tahir
Hall. And by the grace of Allah, we had a full length of the marquee and full Ijtima that we used to do it in Rabwa and other places in Pakistan, and that was very well. I mean, people really enjoyed it, and it was after COVID, a big gathering, and it had a lot of blessings by the grace of Allah.
And it has the attendance of over 2,400 and so.
Yes, yes, you're right. 2,500?
2,410.
2,400.
Around 2,500 and so
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
MashaAllah. So, Sab, is there anything else you want to talk about the year 2022?
Towards the end of it, we had the refresher course / leadership conference where we meet all the Zoma Majalis. Is that right?
Yes.
Zoma Majalis. And we got their feedback because it was a year ending and how to go about the next year, inshallah. So that helped us to make a plan for the next year. So that was
Right.
the highlight.
And
on that.
how about that? Any initiatives from Sehat Jismani or those initiatives for the year?
I think on that same year we also had Masroor volleyball tournament. That was second.
Second, okay.
Second Masroor volleyball tournament in Iwan-e-Tahir, and again our goal was to bring some Ahmadis and non-Ahmadis teams, and there's some 6 + 9 Ahmadi team also attended on this event.
So Sab, as we know, lots of our brothers are coming to Canada, migrating here from all across the globe, particularly Pakistan. So over Tajneed must be building up. So at the start of 2023, do you know what was over Tajneed and what was the system of administration as far as regions and Majalis was concerned?
So in 2023, we had approximately 6,710 of members.
MashaAllah.
Majority of a lot more immigration and family reunion happened after the COVID. Lot more Ansar came from parts from countries, Malaysia and
Right.
and Sri Lanka and so on and so forth. So Tajneed obviously got little higher numbers. Yeah. We had 14 regions and we had 110 majalis. So that was the new year of 2023.
Right.
Where we start with our year with a refresher course, and this is for all the years. I mean, there's small events. I don't mention it. I assume that
Yeah, definitely.
is
They are
always
all covered.
that's
But
regular.
if you can name some of the individuals who were working your right and left during the last 3 years of Ansarullah.
So by the grace of Allah, not big change. Alhamdulillah, I had a very good team in terms of it. There was very individuals that worked with me. Qaid Sahib Amumi was with me for all 4 years by the grace of Allah. Naib Sadran. I would like to mention one individual was Malik Rashid Sahib. This one individual specifically, why I mention, because he served Majlis Ansarullah for the longest,
Yeah,
and now he became a Safi Awwal Nasir.
mashallah.
But I found him such a humble man that even he had a knee surgery and all these health issues. I asked him, Malik Sahib, you're going there, and he's always ready.
Mashallah.
So I do want to acknowledge him in the history.
Definitely.
That his name. By the by the grace of Allah, we had Naib Sadran, Majlis Ansarullah, all Naib Sadran, yourself, Nasir Mahmood Sahib, and then Sanaullah Khan Sahib, Misbah Balod Sahib, who's a Murabbi Silsila. He's also a local Amir of the region, professor at Jamia. So he was very busy. He's still a Naib Sadr.
You're right.
We also have Ataur Rab Sahib, who's helping me for so long from starting Khudamul Ahmadiyya I had. So, and he's by profession is accountant, so he's helping mostly in accounts in mall department.
So, Sahib, if I may ask you, what was the highlight or climax of 2023? What you can share with us?
So the highlight, obviously, and the climax of the 2023 was the virtual mulaqat with Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen again.
Mashallah.
So we had a previous mulaqat, but in this mulaqat, I asked Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen, and we got the permission where we involve all the Zuma of all across Canada. So it was a month of June, I think.
June
right?
4.
And 263 individuals
Mashallah.
were involved in this mulaqat. And we all of them got very excited, and again Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz kindly gave the instruction to every respective qaid in regards to his department and responsibilities. So that was the biggest highlight.
Definitely it should be, because Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, Majlis Ansarullah Canada was blessed with the direct presence and
Yes.
address of Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen for the second consecutive year. Because we had it in 2022 and now in 2023. So definitely Alhamdulillah, summa Alhamdulillah. So Sahib, if you can share with us any other highlights.
So beside that, our Ijtamaat, obviously.
Yeah.
So I mean 2022 and 2023, the years when we had a physical Ijtamaat.
Right.
Right. And having a ijtima after the COVID,
Right.
lockdown, it was very well received by journal, and obviously we as a national office bearer were very excited as well. Previous years we start doing live streaming of ijtima. This was the full year where we had. This was the year where we fully engage our Majlis Ansarullah studio and their expertise, and we live stream all the program. The games were live streamed, and members and you know that in Ansarullah there are members are sitting home, the physical
Right.
disabled cannot attend. They enjoyed the whole program in their home. So that was the big achievement. Western Canada Alaka Ijtima was another achievement, because obviously Canada is a big country, and there's 3 big regions: British Columbia, Prairie, and Calgary.
Right.
That were part of the Western Canada. So they had full Ijtima
Their
of
own
Alaka
Ijtima.
Ijtima alongside with Khudam and Itfal. So that was a very big achievement.
Definitely.
More than 500 plus Ansar attended that program.
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. The achievement was that, and I think I forgot to mention previous years as well, that one highlight we do every year is welcome new Ansars. And that was very well taken now, because a lot of Ansar, young Ansar are coming. Average Ansar, almost 200 plus Ansars coming every year to Majlis Ansarullah. So to highlight the importance of Majlis and Tanzeem, and by the grace of Allah, Naib Sir Safed Dom and his team, they have done wonderful job in terms of welcoming new Ansar and integrating into Majlis Ansarullah. So in 2023, Ijtamaat were also a prime event of Majlis,
Right.
obviously, and we had numerous exhibitions. One was very highlighted that our department of Tabligh did is Tabarakat of Hazrat Masih Maud Islam
MashaAllah.
and Khulafa. So that was very well received, and people enjoyed it.
Alhamdulillah.
Just to see the garments of the promised Messiah
Right.
Islam and Khulafa Ahmadiyyat. So that was another
Right.
highlight.
So Sahib, on the other front, if we talk about probably the Department of Ishaat, we haven't touched that for the last few years now.
Yes.
So anything you want to mention in those 3-4 years, and particularly in 2023, any initiatives of Ishaat Department, because we have a website, then publications on the other hand. So if you
Yeah,
guide
by the
us on-
grace of Allah, Majlis Ansarullah had a publication of Nahnu Ansarullah. It's periodic basis, quarterly basis, on and off. We have done this,
Right.
Now, Alhamdulillah, I think 2023, when we had a mulaqat with Hazrat Amirul Momineen Ayyadullah
Right.
Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz, Hazur mentioned that you should do it monthly. So by the grace of Allah, in this year, starting this year, we start publishing Nahnu
MashaAllah.
Ansarullah monthly. So, but beside that, we have Ayatul Kitab printed. That's the most commonly verses recited by Hazrat Amirul Momineen Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz on different prayers. That's been printed and distributed. Ask members to memorize it. The other thing was a booklet that printed by Majlis Ansarullah, prayers called Namaz, and now its English translation is also prepared, and that is printed for the benefit of general members of Ansarullah.
MashaAllah.
So there are quite a few initiatives. Beside that, because of the era that we are living, is most of the time we get information through online.
Right.
And the website of Majlis Ansarullah Canada and website of Nahnu Ansarullah is available now.
So Sahib, if you can share in 2023 any highlights of the meetings with Hazur Anwar, any instructions from him related to maybe Tarbiyat, Tabligh or Mal?
Jazakallah. So specifically, Hazrat Amirul Momineen gave instruction in regards to tarbiyat and personal contact. Hazur Ayyadullah mentioned about how we should have a personal relationship with Ansar members and remind them over and over. Specifically, Hazrat Sahab's focus was Salat, where Hazur gave the instruction of Qa'id Tarbiyat. In terms of it, Mal, Hazrat Amirul Momineen Ayyadullah bin Nasr Aziz gave the instruction collecting of budget and what is the way we collect budget. In the light of instruction of Hazrat Amirul Momineen Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz, the mulaqat that we had, Hazur specifically gave instruction to Qaid Sahib Mal about and inquire about what is the minimum criteria or what is the minimum rate of a Nasr in Canada. And later on, when Hazrat Amirul Momineen Ayyadullah Ta'ala gave us this instruction that from now onwards, $70 will be the minimum rate of a member who has no job or who is.
So that is basically $70 per year for membership, Ijtama and Ishaat, all
That's
three
right.
together.
That's right.
Jazakallah.
That was the highlight of that, obviously, mulaqat. Hazrat Amirul Mumineen in details mention about tabligh activities, about Tarbiyat Naumabain, kitne Naumabain hai, how many Naumabains we have, and what are we doing. Alhamdulillah, last year we had 28 plus bath,
Alhamdulillah.
and we have our actually Qaid Sahib Tarbiyat Naumabain took a lot of initiative, meet and greet with these individuals, going to their houses, asking them or helping them to memorize Surat Fatiha, because one of our goal is to at least all Naumabains must know how to read Surat Fatiha and gradually progress in
So during the Tabligh activities, last year, probably in 2023, there was a big initiative of Tabligh van. If you can explain what that van is and how this idea was generated.
So idea was generated because the Jamaat Ahmadiyya Canada has a Tabligh truck, basically, a truck that has decorated with the slogans of Jamaat and with a picture of Hazrat Masih Maud Islam, Messiah has come, keeping that. But most of the Ansar had this complaint because they are not able to drive that truck, and it has a lot of logistic issues. So Majlis Ansarullah took this initiative and decided to have a van like that, decorated with the picture, and it's a moving exhibition, basically.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
That's what, if you call it in one word, it's moving exhibition of Islam Ahmadiyyat. So easy to move to different place to place. And we have in Canada, because of the weather condition, we have very few months of summer where we can go outside and do the activities.
Right.
And this van actually helped us in terms of going to different majalis, different regions, parking lots, different malls, and just temporarily you put our exhibition right there, right then, and that's how we distributed Quran Kareem and books, especially book of Life of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Pathway to Peace. These books were distributed in good numbers, alhamdulillah.
And how about the ISAR activities in 2023, if you can recall some of those as well?
2023 ISAR activities in terms of charity walks, charity runs. Winnipeg, there's some majalis did. Hamilton was one of them. We also in ISAR helped quite a few members of Majlis Ansarullah who cannot afford their funeral services.
Right.
Okay. And Majlis Ansarullah has this initiative as well. So we have put some money towards this, and by the grace of Allah, we are helping on this regard as well.
Right.
On 2023, what else was it?
Yeah, I know. I mean, those runs were. I happen to be part of those runs sometimes, and hundreds of individuals participated, and we raised, I would say, thousands of dollars for charity organizations. It was well appreciated by the local community and by their leadership as well. We see political leaders being present in those runs, and they always appreciated our gesture of working with humanity.
That's
definitely.
Right. We did had we are very close tie with humanity first, and we are actually helping in this regard as well. But whenever they ask us, so there's some funds were allocated towards that. In regards to SR activities, for so many years, as all over the world, Majlis Ansarullah in UK and other countries like Canada as well, we were doing the Remembrance Day activities, where we collect funds, and our majalis goes to different centers and collect funds for the soldiers that fought different wars to safeguard our independence. So by the grace of Allah, this every year we have done, alhamdulillah, this is one activities that I would like to highlight.
So, sir, probably if you can also share any key guests we received here in Ansarullah and had an opportunity to meet with them, maybe from London, from Rabwa, or anywhere else.
So one initiative that was is highlighted and we still continue till today is the our Sobat Salihin session.
Right.
So we take this opportunity every time when any representative comes from different part of the world, specifically from UK Markaz, we ask them have a sitting with Majlis Amla to listen to listen to them asking questions, getting their hidayat, their instruction for the benefit of our members. So we had quite a few members actually. Indeed, if you are, we had Sadr Sahib Ansarullah Pakistan,
Dr.
Sultan Bashir Sahib was here. We had Mishin Char Sahib New Zealand. We have Missionary Char Sahib Amir and Missionary Char Sahib of Burundi. We have Missionary Char Sahib of Tanzania. We have Amir Sahib Palestine, Fode Sahib. We have in 2021, I think, Allah Baksh Sadiq Sahib also came. And also we had quite a few interactive session with our field missionaries. Respected our missionary Charge Sahib and respected Amir Sahib. These are the namely few that we had the meetings for the benefit of the members.
So Jazakumullah Sahib, I really appreciate your time, and we got lots of information, and as we all know that we are in phase of compilation of the history of Majlis Ansarullah Canada for the last 3 years, and these meetings are definitely crucial in that objective. We got lots of information for Sadr Sahib. I know he is busy. He has lots of other activities, but still he came to our Majlis Ansarullah Canada studio. I appreciate once again and thank you for your presence. Thank you very much, Qaid Sahib, Amumi as well. Jazakumullah Ahsan Jaza. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
गैब से फज़ल के सामान हुए जाते हैं, मरहले सारे ही आसान हुए जाते